Hey there, my name is Andy. Welcome to Namaste at Home Yoga. For this one, by request, I'm going over a few inversion techniques, and we'll start with a few of the basics and kind of build from there over a few different videos. So this one, just gonna get started with a little bit of intros to balancing, for activation, for just gaining a little bit of strength and stability and awareness of where our bodies are as we move into inversions and things like that. So no stress, no handstands right off the bat. And these are something that I myself am still learning, I'm still working with, and always trying to challenge myself with, but I really do enjoy them. So hopefully this contains a few tools to get you a little bit more comfortable moving into them as well. And so we'll be coming at them from a yoga perspective, not as much from like a gymnastics or any other kind of background, but just specifically from a yoga and alignment type of perspective. So there's lots of different ways to learn these. I just have a few suggestions, and I hope you enjoy. So if you like to work with a block, I would recommend having one handy for some of these inversion videos. Otherwise, all you need is your mat and you, as per usual, maybe a little bit of wall space from time to time, but I'll let that really be up to you as far as what you're most comfortable with. So we'll start by finding a nice comfortable seat, allowing your weight to just get really even from side to side in the sit bones. Grow tall up out of that spine, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. We'll allow the hands to rest at the sides or at the knees. Tuning in for the next few moments here. Checking in with how the body is feeling today. Maybe starting to get even just a really general sense of if we're ready for a challenge today, if we want to stay in a comfortable practice, if we're really going to be pushing those edges, and just being really accepting, really okay with whatever your body is okay with today, wherever it's at. Above all, especially as we move through any kind of inversions or any more advanced postures, safety is number one. Listening to your body just as much as going to help keep us safe as we do these. So let's bring a little bit more depth and awareness to the breathing. As you inhale, fill from the bottom to top, let the belly expand, chest rise. Exhale, empty that all the way out. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, pour it out, full exhale. Let's just take a few more of those, no rush. Feeling how that breath moves through the body, where it wants to create space. And softly bring our hands through center, chin down towards the chest. You can allow those eyes to gently open and find your way to a tabletop position. Coming to rest with shoulders stacking over wrists, hips over knees, and warming up in through the spine with a few cat-cows. We'll inhale to lift through head, chest, and hips. Exhale, press through hands and knees, allowing that spine to round. Inhale, head, chest, hips, open up. Exhaling, we round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Finding your way back to a neutral spine here. Take a moment to notice how your hands are contacting the mat. To notice what areas of the palms have more pressure than others, if you're firm down through the fingertips or if the hands are relaxed. We'll start to find a little bit of active tension here. Press the fingertips, all 5, into the ground. Almost like you're going to draw your hand into a fist, but without actually moving the fingers anywhere. Find a little bit of activation, a little bit of a squeeze. See how you feel that active up through the arms now. You can relax that for a moment, moving up into the back body, into the shoulders. Allow yourself to press the mat away from you. Feel the shoulder blades lift a little bit, upper back domes. And then we're going to sink into this. Let the chest get heavy. Let the shoulder blades almost come together. Press back through the arms, doming through the upper back. And releasing down. Let that chest sink. Shoulder blades start to pull together. One more. Press all the way up. And sink back down. Finding your way back to that neutral spine, that middle position here. I want to keep in mind some of this engagement as we make our way through, how it feels gripping down through the hands, how it feels engaging through the arms, engaging through the shoulders as we press the ground away from us. And then drawing that core in nice and strong, putting a little bit more work into hands and arms now. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees up to a hover, just an inch or so off the mat. Actively pressing the mat away from you, allowing elbow creases to face each other here. If you have hyperextended elbows like me, I'll encourage you not to let them lock, keeping just a micro bend. Grip with the fingertips, squeeze them down, feel that firmness, that groundedness into the earth. And bring that back to the mat. Go ahead and untuck the toes for a moment. Opening up a bit more through the shoulders. Let's walk hands a bit farther in front of us. Allow hips to stay high. Chest starts to sink, finding puppy pose. If forehead comes to rest, that is more than welcome. Chin may also find its way to the mat, depending on where is most open for you. Allow yourself to find a little bit more depth with each exhale here. No rush. As this one gets deeper, as it gets more intense of a stretch, of a sensation, usually takes a while to really notice a big difference in the openness in the shoulders, so be patient with the body. Let it move at its own pace. Next inhale floats us back up. You can walk the hands back to our tabletop and find your way down to forearms. Opening up through the T-spine, and while doing so, activating a bit through our upper back. We'll bring the right hand up towards the right ear. Find an inhale to lift that elbow up and away. Turn towards the sky. Exhale brings it back through neutral. We'll go for another 2 of these. Inhaling to open. Exhale, gently lower. And again, opening up. Lower that down. Once you're done those 3, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing with the left arm. Fingertips are just lightly touching the left side of the head. And inhale opens us up. Elbow lifts towards the sky. Exhaling, we find our way through neutral. We'll go for another 2. Following your breath, moving at your own pace. And taking a moment in child's pose whenever you are done with those. You can allow the arms to stay outstretched overhead, or if the shoulders ever need more relief, you can always draw the arms back past the feet. Letting the forehead melt towards the earth, allowing it to rest on something solid. If you like to stack hands or stack fists here so the forehead can reach that more comfortably, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll keep things moving for now. You can bring hands back out in front if they're drawn back. Make your way through a tabletop and to a downward dog. This is our first one of the practice, so take a moment, pedal it out, weight shift side to side, do what feels good. And then start to find some steadiness here, finding that inverted V posture, allowing fingers to spread wide and press firmly into the mat once more. Each exhale allows a little bit more weight to rock back towards the feet as hips pull up and back. Wonderful. Warming things up with a few half series flows. We'll inhale forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower to knees, chin and chest. Inhale strong through the back, head and chest lift, hands are light, cobra. Exhale, we press back, downward dog. Move through 2 more of those, following your pace, your breath. Inhale floats us forward. Exhaling, we lower with control, core just as strong as when we started. And when you're done your 3, we'll meet back in our downward dog. With an inhale, send the right leg high. Step between the hands. Back knee lifted or lowered. If you lower it, go ahead and untuck that toe. We'll press firm through the foot to lift the chest high. And think about some core engagement here. Not usually the first thing we think about in our lunge. Let's see if we can drop that tailbone a little bit. Fire up through the core, almost like you're zipping up from bottom to top. Hands can catch hips, float through center, or rest overhead. Just being especially mindful of that strength through our trunk, that stability we're creating there. Sending the breath as deep down as you can, finding a full exhale every time. Wonderful. As we exhale, we'll frame the foot, step back, downward dog. Just moving through our second side, left leg finds its way high. Stepping between the hands. Settle into our lunge here. Get firm through that left foot. Press to rise. Core is strong again. Let that tailbone drop. Zip up through the front of the body. Send the arms wherever they are feeling good today. Listening to our body, part 1. Or I guess listening to our body, reminder 1. Fill up with each breath. Acknowledge the strength through the center of your body. Feeling it with each breath in. And exhaling to frame that front foot. Step back, downward dog. Add as much of a bend as you need to the knees. We'll walk hands back towards the feet, meeting in a forward fold. Allow yourself to ragdoll forward here. Maybe allowing the head to really let go, or grabbing for opposite elbows, finding a gentle sway side to side. Feeling each inhale, find a little bit of lift through the tailbone. Exhales, just let the shoulders, the head, the arms get heavier. Wonderful. We'll heel toe the feet a little bit wider. You can point the toes out about 45 degrees. Send the hips low, chest high, finding our yogi squat. Palms can press through center, chest draws proud. Elbows can find their way to the inner edges of the thighs. Each inhale draws length through the crown. Exhaling finds a little bit more depth to our squat maybe. Stability in our feet. Noticing where we are as we're contacting the ground. Beautiful. You can release the hands down to the mat. If it's more comfortable to find a lift through the heels for now, you're welcome to. And we will start with a gentle prep for a crow. We probably won't move fully into it today, or we won't cue all the way into it today, but starting gently by pressing hands firmly into the mat, about shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers wide. Find that same engagement as you did in our tabletop at the start. Squeeze fingers in towards you. Wonderful. Maybe relaxing the fingers for a moment, give them a breather. You can lift hips slightly, heel toe feet back into about hip distance or maybe a little bit wider. I'll encourage you to come high on the toes if it's available. Find that grip through the fingertips. And then draw the knees to either side of your triceps, outside edges. We're just going to find a gentle lean forward. Enough that the feet can become light, but not so much that they lift off. I want you to feel that engagement squeezing in with the knees. Notice how that feels through your core. Belly button draws in towards the spine. Fingers squeezing, gripping the earth, gripping the mat. And gently finding your way back to your squat, down to a seat. Nice work. You can draw legs out in front of you. Find a nice tall seat. Again, working through the core and a little bit into the hips, and for some active range of motion here, go through some of my favorite little leg lifts. Hands can plant on either side of the body. Find that tall spine if we've lost it. With an inhale, right leg gets light, or maybe it starts to lift up and away from the mat. I'll encourage you to find lots of activation here by flexing toes back towards your face. Press firm through the hands. Strong breath. 3, 2, 1. Lower. Moving through our second side. When you're ready, an inhale gets light through that left leg. Maybe starts to lift it. Flex those toes back. Keep everything fired up. Strong breath. 2 more. Lowering with your exhale. Keeping hands planted on either side of the hips. If you have 2 blocks, you're welcome to use them as a little bit of a step up on either side. Otherwise, a little bit of a challenge for you. Everyone's built differently, so this may feel different, may work in different ways. That is okay. We'll just work with wherever we're at today. Spread the fingers wide. Press the palms down firmly. See if we can start to get light in our sit bones. Maybe they start to lift off the mat. I don't get a huge lift here, that's fine. But feel that pressure through the arms, that strength. Notice if your body is okay with this pressure, or if it needs a little bit less today. Releasing back down. Go ahead and give the arms a break. I'm sure they would appreciate it. You can grab for hamstrings if that feels okay, and gently rock it down to your back. We'll start by giving the legs a squeeze towards you, a little bit of a hug, maybe a gentle rock side to side, massaging the back out. Firing up our core in preparation for plow today. We'll start with hands down by the sides, heels up towards the ceiling. Feel that core draw nice and strong, belly button towards the spine, back pressing firm into your mat. And next exhale, lower legs to about 45 degrees. Feel that core so strong here. Drawing in, pressing down. Back body is grounded, shoulder blades, low back, hips all heavy. Go ahead and bring those back up. Whether you're looking to do shoulder stands, headstands, handstands, pincha, anything like that. Building this kind of core strength, this core awareness is really going to be helpful in the process. Next exhale again, lower to 45. Keep that breath flowing smooth. Any discomfort, bring a bend to the knees or find a resting posture. Smooth breaths for 3. So strong for 2. Building that stability, beautiful work. Last one. Inhale, draw back up. And exhale, give that squeeze another go. Gonna release the legs, bring the feet to the mat here, heels just close enough to touch. You're gonna get strong through the core, squeeze the glutes and press down through the heels. As you inhale, hips lift. Exhaling, you think about pressing down with the heels, imagining if you don't have a block handy to bring between the knees, you can think about if you had one there, squeezing legs in towards each other, same as when we were doing our preparation for crow. Legs squeezed towards each other without actually moving to touch. Strong in that breath for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently lowering to release, vertebrae by vertebrae, hips last. We'll go through one more of these, inviting a little bit more openness to the shoulders this time. When you're ready, find that inhale to lift hips. Exhale, ground down through the feet. If it is available, we can interlace hands behind the back, squeeze palms together. Feel that activation through the back body, that opening in the shoulders. Maybe we knife the shoulder blades under one at a time to find a little bit more openness. And again, I'll encourage that squeeze towards bringing palms together. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower, release, let go of any grips that you might have. And let's just give the core a bit of a breather, the back a bit of a breather. Find a gentle rock side to side with the knees. Exhaling to lower towards one side. Inhaling, we draw back through center. Exhale, let those knees go other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, draw through. One more, just evening out sides. Wonderful. We're going to find our way into a plow today, and if this one is newer for you, biggest things to be very mindful of are keeping the spine nice and straight without any rotation. So we're not looking side to side, no worries on what's going on around us. We're simply going to watch our legs as they follow a line up and over past the head. Hands can stay planted on either side of the hips. We're going to find that same kind of core strength and stability as we send the legs up and over towards the back wall. If you are worried at all about rolling all the way over backwards, you can feel free to do this one a little bit closer to a wall, or maybe have a friend nearby looking out for you. Otherwise, we'll just go gently. We'll just go slow here. Hips may not even lift today, and that is perfectly fine. If that is the case, I want you to focus on that same core engagement. Focus on the press firm down with the arms into your mat, and we'll go from there. Make sure you have room behind you, maybe a foot or so above the head. If you need more, you probably know that you do. I don't know how long your legs are. We're going to send those heels up towards the sky. Press firm through the hands. With an inhale, we start to lift hips and send the feet up and back towards the wall behind us. Legs can be bent or straight. Toes may hover above the ground. They may come to touch. Just notice how this feels for you. Gaze is at the legs. Palms may stay planted into the floor, or we find a bend to elbows so that hands catch the hip crests. See if we can still find great depth in each breath. This feels like lots for today. Definitely stay here. If you're craving a little bit more, pressing firm with the hands, or again catching hips, see if we can start to draw hips back to almost stack over shoulders. We can tuck knees in, finding a little bit of a ball, and then maybe slowly starting to extend feet up towards the ceiling. No rush while we are here. Go slow, go steady, take your time. Notice where in your mat is helping keep you grounded. And then whenever you are ready, lower slow, coming back down to our plow, lowering vertebrae by vertebrae, hips last, slow as you can, coming to rest feet back on the mat. Wonderful. That gives you a really great sense of being upside down without having to put a ton into the wrists, a ton into our shoulders, but building some of that strength, some of that stability, some of that awareness of where we are in space in our inverted postures. Let's wring things out a little bit here. Go ahead and send the legs out long, arms overhead. Take a big full body stretch. And then tuck knees in towards the chest, forehead to knees, big exhale. We can roll that over towards one side or the other. Find our way back up to a comfortable seat. All right, allowing sit bones to get steady here once more. Growing tall out of the spine, out of the top of the crown. We'll allow ourselves to settle in once more and bring a little bit of broadness to the chest. After that plow, we might feel more prone to rounding here. So let's find some expansion, some openness here. Maybe walking fingertips back towards the back edges of your mat. Drawing the shoulder blades back and down together. Finding even just a gentle lift to the chest. Breathe into it. Inhale space through the front body, filling bottom to top. And gently releasing, walk the fingertips forward once more, allowing hands to come rest on the knees. Let's find a big cleansing breath. Fill at bottom to top. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Feels good to let go of some of that effort, to let go of expectations for how things should feel, what we might be capable of, where our body should be at today. There is no rush. It is all about our process, how we grow in it and from it, loving and accepting our bodies along the way. You can draw hands through center, bring palms to press. Chin can find its way down towards the chest to softly open the eyes if they're closed. I hope you enjoyed my first little intro to inversions video plus bonus hand balancing prep. We will see you again soon. Namaste.